I always suggest to you guys that whenever you have the choice between a personal loan and a line of credit, always go for the line of credit. Now, I know it's hard for people with bad credit to find a line of credit. However, I have a list of lenders that offer you a line of credit instead of a personal loan. And the reason you want to do that because you only pay interest on the amount of money you actually borrow from the line of credit versus the personal loan that's charging you all the interest. So here's the first one that I'm talking about. It's checking the cash. Now with checking the cash, as you can see, they offer their flex line of credit. And with their flex line of credit, you can see that it goes from $100 up to $4,000. Now, the difference between getting a flex line of credit from these type of lenders is because it's not about your debt to income ratio. Okay, this is very important because when you go to the banks and you're trying to get a line of credit, they're looking at your debt to income ratio, meaning that if you have a debt to income ratio of 55% or higher, they may not offer you a line of credit. Okay, now there's a difference between the line of credit from this here lender and the banks as well, because at the same time, these lenders are not focused on the credit score either. So that's the reason these are some of the best for especially people with bad credit. All right, now the interest rates may be much higher, but at the same time, you have more flexibility when you have bad credit. Okay, now also with this here checking the cash, just keep in mind that their flex line of credit is not offered in all 50 states. Okay, the next lender we're talking about is NetCredit. As you can see here, they offer a line of credit up to $4,500. All right, now here's the thing about it with NetCredit. They will look at the credit to see if you qualify. Now, the minimum qualifications I would tell you for these type of lines of credit, the minimum is you have at least $1,000 a month after taxes. That's $1,000 a month after taxes. That's not a week. That's not 2 weeks, but a month after taxes. So if you have at least $1,000 a month after taxes, then you qualify for these type of lines of credit. And as you can see here, goes up to $4,500. The next lender is Advanced Financial, 24/7. All right, they offer lines of credit. As a matter of fact, I'll show you some of the minimum qualifications, long as it's offered in your state. All right, so again, long as you have $1,000 after taxes monthly, you can qualify for this type of loan. All right, they offer up to $4,000. And you can see the states that they actually offer those lines of credit here. If you're not in one of these states, there's no need of wasting your time. The next lender we're talking about is Credit Fresh. And with Credit Fresh, as you can see here, they offer lines of credit from $500 up to $5,000. All right. Now, here's the thing about it I want you guys to understand. Since these here lenders are not doing a hard pull on your personal credit, they're going to start using the third-party credit bureaus, okay? And we'll talk about those in a minute because I have a couple other loans. But one thing I always tell you guys out of transparency, before you're able to take out these type of lines of credit, you want to do, if you're working a W-2 job, you want to go to your HR and you want to file exempt, all right? And there's only 2 qualifications, all right? And that is you owe no federal income tax in the prior tax year, and you expect to owe no federal income tax in the current year. Long as you don't owe any federal income tax, you can actually file exempt, okay? So that's the thing I always tell people, file exempt for 3 or 4 months, bring home a bigger paycheck because they're no longer taking federal taxes out of your check, and then you'll be able to get caught up on some bills. So that's an option for you. Another money secret I always tell people about is go to unclaimed.org. When you go to unclaimed.org, click this here link, Find and Claim. This is a free government database, okay? And what you do, you click on the state that you reside in or a past state that you moved from, and you put in your name and your address. And it will tell you if you have any money that's owed to you. Even if you moved around in that state, just put in your name and put in any address that you previously stayed at, and they will be able to locate if you have any money or not. And then there's one other resource, and that is going to webapps.dol, Department of Labor.gov. And when you go here, if you work for a company that you left and they never sent you your last paycheck, or you work for a company and you moved and you never received your last paycheck or something like that, you can go here and you can put in the company name and the state. And once you do that, then you put in your information. All right. And what'll happen, they'll match up and look up the company and see if there's any wages or earnings owed to you, and they'll get that money out to you as well. All right. So I always tell people to do this before actually taking on any extra debt if you can avoid it. I was telling you guys about these lines of credit not doing a hard pull on your credit, okay? But here's the credit bureaus they will use. These are financial credit bureaus that actually will look at your credit so they can determine if they want to loan you or give you a line of credit or not. Now, the first one is Teletrac. Teletrac is owned by Equifax, okay? If you ever taken out any type of loan online, they keep that data and they sell it back to those type of lenders, all right? Now, they're owned by Equifax. Another company owned by Equifax that keeps your financial data is DataX, all right? Now, you can get your actual credit files, your financial credit files, and see what's actually in it. And if there's anything that's not accurate, you can actually dispute that information. Then you also have LexisNexis. Some of the lenders, they do pull LexisNexis as well. Again, if LexisNexis has any negative information that's not accurate to your situation, especially with addresses. One of the biggest things that a lot of people get denied for loans and credit cards and stuff is because of the address. And so LexisNexis may keep your old address. So when these lenders reach out to LexisNexis, as well as those other credit bureaus, when they reach out to these credit bureaus and they trying to verify the address on the application, if it's the same as the address on your credit file, and though it don't match up, that can get you a denial. So just give you a heads up, and yes, you can get your file. All right. Then you have Clarity, which is owned by Experian. Now with Experian, you can get your credit report, you can see your credit score, you can actually do a fraud alert, security freeze, you can opt out. Okay. So you can do all of that. All right. So you are entitled to these financial credit bureau scorings and things of that nature. All right. And then the last one is Factor Trust. Factor Trust is owned by TransUnion. Okay. And so they sell your data as well, and you can do disputes as well once you get your credit report. All right. So now you know what credit bureaus a lot of these lenders are going to be using. They don't use the major credit bureaus and stuff. So you can actually take a look and get those cleaned up. Going back to these lines of credit, you have Lendation. Lendation offers a line of credit, and as you can see, up to $10,000. All right. Now, again, just be careful. I would probably say you may want to see what's on your credit file, especially if you have bad credit, and make sure that that address is updated. Like I said, they don't trip off of bad credit. They don't trip off of debt to income ratio. Okay. So those are the things that are not going to penalize you. It's just the names, the address, and making sure you have the availability, because you do have to have an active bank account as well. All right. So that's very important that you are aware of that. All right. And so it says, what do you need? ID, proof of income, bank statement, last 30 days, active checking account, current phone number and email. All right. So again, not tripping off of the credit score. That's one of the things I continue to tell you guys. A lot of times it's not about the credit score. It's just the information that you're providing. Now, there's another lender, and it's a tribal lender as well, and this is mobile loans. Now, with mobile loans, tribal lender, as you can see here, they offer lines up to $2,500. All right. Now, with tribal lenders, I continue to tell you they're not regulated by the federal government, so they have more flexibility to do how they want to with their loans. Now, the interest rates, yes, is going to be much higher. All right. However, again, when you need a line of credit and you need money and nobody can't loan you any money, these are definitely lenders that you should be taking a look at. The next lender we're talking about is MoneyKey. Okay. And so with MoneyKey, as you can see, they offer a CC line of credit. Okay. And so with their line of credit, it's up to $2,000. And as you can see, here's all of the states that it offers lines of credit to. So if you're in Florida, you can see here. If you're in Florida, you can see here what it is in terms of what they offer their lines of credit. And it's up to $3,500 in the state of Florida. So that's the thing about it. With some of these lenders, they actually will tell you what states. So that's not bad. You just go through here, and some of them, not only that, like they offer either a line of credit or an installment loan. So it just depends. Or they may offer both. Like in Missouri, they offer both a line of credit and an installment loan. You know, so you have the options. But I always tell people, if you have a choice between the line of credit and the loan, go for the line of credit. Now, the next lender is Advance America. They also offer a line of credit. Now, it asks here, how much can I qualify for? The maximum amount you can borrow with a line of credit is based on your income as well as the state laws in your state. All right. And so basically, they're talking about you can get up to $3,000. Again, a line of credit is much better because you don't have to pay interest on the money you don't use. All right. So if you use all of it, then you pay the interest on it. But if you don't use all of it, you only pay for what you use. All right. So I hope that this video helps you know that, hey, even if you have bad credit, you have options to get a line of credit even with bad credit. All right. You can have a high debt to income ratio. You can have a bad credit score. So I hope this helps you, and I'll see you in the next video.